Hello, this is MAT0028. I'm just now recording and I have not done much yet. Okay, so if you're tuning in on the recording, we're just taking notes right now. You need to write these three things down. I'm going to be using these as examples later. All right, so if you look at this, there's nothing I can take out of all of these. So the step that you're going to use to factor this is as follows. I want you to create a tree, or what's called a T-chart. On the left side of the T-chart, I want you to put a plus sign. On the right side of the T-chart, I want you to put a times sign. And what I want you to do is the number that's in the middle is going to go, the number in the middle is going to go under the plus sign. And the number at the end will go under the times sign. Now I'm going to do numbers that multiply to 20. I have 4 times 5. And I have 10 times 2. Under the plus sign, I need to observe what these numbers add to, because I'm going to want the numbers to multiply to this number, but add to this number. 4 plus 5 is 9. It means then I'm not going to be using 4 and 5. 10 plus 2 is 12. And since those two numbers multiply to 20 and add to 12, then I have my answer. The way I write my answer is in parentheses like this. X plus 10 X plus 2. If I were to check my answer by foiling it, it would be X times X, outer 2X, inner 10X, and 10 times 2. And if I were to add these middle together, right now I'm checking my work. Because remember, see, we get back that again. Because remember we said that factoring is the opposite. Remember, factoring goes backwards. So you're telling me the numbers that were multiplied to get this. So the tree is the method that we use to find out what numbers that you have to multiply to get that. That's why I said anytime they ask you to factor, you are creating parentheses and you're putting your problem within the parentheses. Okay, let's try some examples. I'm going to go through these first. So example 1 will be this. This will be example 2. This will be 3, and then I'll add some more as we get better and better at them. So the next one. So I'm going to be calling on you because I want to make sure that we do this very slowly, okay? Because I don't want us rushing this process, because this is the most difficult test, and so I want to make sure that everybody gets this really slowly, okay? Melody, I think I'm going to start from you. So step by step, I don't want the answer. What's the first thing that we're going to do here?
Draw a tea tree.
Very good. On the left side.
Put a plus.
On the right side.
Put a time sign, an X, a multiplication sign.
What number under the plus sign? Yeah, what number?
The number under the plus is going to be 7.
Yes, 7.
And under the X is going to be 12.
12. 6 times 2. You have a lot that equals 12. All right. What else can equal 12?
4 times 3.
4 and 3. And is that it? 6, 2, and 4 and 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
6 plus 2 is 8, and 4 plus 3 is 4 and 3. 4 plus 3 is what? 7, right?
Yes.
So what is my answer? Tell me how to write my answer.
Well, you need 2 sets of parentheses. You need X times
Plus. X plus
4, or X,
Yeah.
yeah, X plus 4
Yeah,
times X plus 3.
very good. That's your answer. There's nothing else to do, everybody. All right? Because once you figure this out, you have your answer. Example 2. We're not going to FOIL it because we know that if we FOIL this, we get that again. Okay, so good job, Melody. Let's go to the next one. Factor x squared. Is it minus 12x plus 35? Yeah. Okay. Talon, are you able to talk?
I think so.
Oh, perfect. I can hear you too.
Cool.
Okay, guys, I'm just going in order here from what I see on the screen. All right. So, Talon, teacher, what symbol do I put on the left side?
The plus sign.
And what number is going to go there?
D12.
All right, positive or negative?
Negative.
So notice this time, everybody, that there's a negative number here. We're going to see how that plays out as we do the numbers. Okay, and then what symbol over on this side?
Multiplication.
And then what number?
The 35.
35. Now, 35 is just what times what? That's 7 times 5?
Times 5.
Right. Okay, so in the chat, talk to me and Talon here. What happens if I add 7 and 5?
You get 12.
That's correct. Now, someone's going to say, how about 7 times negative 5? But 7 times negative 5, is that positive 35?
No.
No, so we can't use it. Who has a suggestion? Unless Talon sees it, but I want some suggestions in the comments too, on 2 numbers that will multiply to 35, but add to negative 12. And it looks like Ashley and Melody have them. Talon, are you able to see the chat?
Yeah.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So will those, if I multiply those 2 negatives, I'll get a positive?
Yes.
But what happens when I add them?
You get
Keep the negative, right?
Yeah, you keep the negative.
Okay, so everybody, you guys see where these integer rules are going to be so important for you guys to have memorized, because if you don't know the integer rules, you get here and you're lost. Talon, go ahead and give me the answer.
All right, the answer should be This part's the part that confuses me.
It's going to be x, both. Okay, so the reason you know they're both x is because when you do x times x, you have to get that there. So if it was a different letter, you would use a different thing here, right? So you always are going to start with x. The next thing you do is simply copy that number down here, and this is simply copied there.
Okay. X plus -7. X
So
plus
actually, you don't even have to say plus. You can actually just go straight to minus.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the next one.
And then x minus -5.
Minus 5. Yeah. All right. So everybody, if you can see how we did that, when they're negative, you copy the negative numbers in. When they're positive, you want to copy the positive numbers in. Now, I wasn't expecting Talon or anyone to really know these because we're just teaching you these. But I like the interaction. That's why I call you guys, because it's not because you're supposed to know it yet. I just want to work with you on it. So let's go to that other one here where we have factor r squared. Okay, now we have the letter R, so I hope everybody knows what to do. And I think it was minus, what was it? Okay. Minus R, minus 42. All right, so it looks like Angela. Angela, are you there?
Yes.
All right, what symbol on the left side?
Plus.
On the right side?
Multiple.
Now, Angela, there's a problem here. I don't even see a number in the middle, so I don't know what to put under the plus sign.
1.
Is it positive or negative?
Negative.
And then what do I put underneath the times?
Negative 42.
Very good. Now, I have a bunch of things that equal 42, like 21 times 1. But there's a problem here, and that is that this 42 is negative. So everybody, in order for something to be negative when you're multiplying, one of these numbers has to be negative, right?
Yes.
So for instance, if we did 6 times 7, if we just do 6 times 7, that's a positive 42. But if we make both of these negative, it's a positive 42. So one of these numbers has to be negative. So what I recommend that everybody do when you see a negative number here is to write 6 and 7 2 times, and make the first time make the 6 negative, and the next time make the 7 negative. And the reason why we would do that is because both of these multiply to negative 42, but they will add to different numbers. So I need to represent both of these so that I can see which one is going to add to a negative 1. So Angela, looking at both of these, can you tell me what this one adds to and what this one adds to? If I add these, take the sign of the higher number, what am I going to get?
Positive 1.
Right, because you have to subtract and then that. What happens when I do these?
It'll be a negative 1 because you keep the sign of the highest number.
So you see your answer, right?
Yes.
All right, let me go back here and also do that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Go back up a second. Okay, so if you on the x plus 4 and the x plus 3, if you put the x plus 3 first and then do the x plus 4, would it be wrong?
No, that's a very good question. So
I mean, if you get the right answer and you write it backwards, is it going to be wrong?
It is not wrong. You can change the order. And like I said, this is the reason why I grade test, because sometimes my math lab doesn't know that, then it grades your test and marks you wrong. But I'm telling you that it is not wrong. So I will definitely not allow it to mark that wrong on a test for you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because on the homework it doesn't like it if you flip it.
Yeah, well, for this particular ones, they're not supposed to matter. For this lesson, they don't, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But, so go ahead and give me the actual answer.
Hold on, I'm writing my parentheses. So negative R.
No, it's just, well, remember, what are you gonna multiply that will give you an R squared?
R.
Okay, so you don't need negatives because these first ones will always give you that first one.
Okay.
All right.
So then it should be +6.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one should be a -7.
Very good. All right. So this is how we factor. Okay. We don't want to overcomplicate these, but again, this is called simple factoring because it doesn't require a whole lot of steps. Now, what I'm going to do at this time, since you guys have done those three, and I think for this lesson we have a total of 8 examples. So what I'm going to do is have you guys do increasingly more difficult ones and see if you can do them on your own. So I want you to try, let's try this one. X squared plus 4x minus 12. Now remember, when it's negative, you know that 4 times 3 is 12, but write it twice so that one can be, you know that 6 times 2 is 12. Write it twice. Make one number negative, then make the other number negative. So you have a lot of options here. Okay. All right, let's start putting some of those numbers in the chat. Kayla, I'm gonna bring you on so that you can ask out loud, okay? Okay, Kayla, you're on.
Hey, I got confused with example 2 because you see how you put -7 and -5,
Yeah.
and then it came out of -12. Now remember, now the other ones that you did do, you didn't do both of them. You only did one of them. So my thing was like, you remember how you say that higher number will come out to be over the smaller number and becomes a negative?
If you're
Now the one,
subtracting. If you're subtracting.
right. So the one that was, oh, you said only if you, but see the one that was above that, I thought it would be -7 and then stay a +5, and that would have became a -12. But you
No.
said no, huh?
No, because you got to remember right now what we're doing is we're only using our integer rules. So with the integer rules, you have to remember that
Oh, I see.
you already, if the numbers are the same, we add. Remember that?
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah, I
if
remember now. Yeah.
the numbers are different, we subtract and take the sign of the higher. So basically, one of the reasons why in 1.8 I kept kind of beating the class up with knowing that is because I knew that when we would get to this lesson, we'd be kind of going so much faster. But it's the same principle here, is that
Okay.
since both of these are positive, we add them.
Right.
Since both of these are negative, we add them. But here, the signs are different. So this is where we subtract them and take the sign of this one.
I had just put on my notes integer rules so I can remind myself this is what we're doing inside this lesson.
Right, right. I'll answer that in a second, Ryan. But yeah, so like for this, so you don't like if they're both negative, it's not like you're taking the sign of the 7. It's if they're both negative, when you add them, the answer will be negative. And if they're both positive, the answer will be positive.
Right.
The only time it's different is if the signs are different. And then I have to take the sign of the higher number. Okay, so example 2, they're both negative because that's what would give me a negative 12 if both of them are negative, because I would have to add them to get negative 12.
Okay.
Okay, now good question, but everybody, I'm wanting the answers. Oh, okay, looks like I got some. Jennifer, Bidia, Maribel. Okay, and Manuel has a statement there that is kind of addressing your issue as well. Madeline put it, Brendan, Talon. All right, so all of you guys seem to have the right answer, which is the 6 and the -2. Because if we add these, the higher sign is the negatives here, so that would be a -4. This would be a +4. So it looks like it's going to be x plus 6 and x -2. So that is correct. Good job for everybody who got that. You guys are doing great so far. All right, so let's go to example 5. Factor a squared plus 3a plus 10. Ryan, the tests are not on Unlock, and I will be testing. I will be proctoring my own test. So if I'm proctoring my own test, I don't have to put it on Unlock, but I'm required to use Unlock if. Is that better, Deja? I'm required to use Unlock if I have you testing on your own. So I'm not allowed to just say, all right, go to my math lab and I'll give you the password. I'm not allowed to do that. So we have to use Unlock. However, if somebody were not able to make the test, then yeah, we would probably have to put it on Unlock at that point. Okay, this one is more difficult. I don't know if anybody notices. It's a little bit more difficult. So let's go over it. We have the 3 here and we have the 10 here. So let's see what's happening here. We know that 10 is, what are the numbers that will multiply to give us 10? 2 and 5, good. However, when we add, this is why, even though I wasn't doing it on every one of them, to keep organized, sometimes I think it's helpful to just go ahead and write the answer on the left side so that you keep track of what's there. It's because you know that whatever number is here has to show up in the middle in order for it to work. Looks like we can't do that. Let's say we made one of them negative. If the 2 is negative, okay, so what happens if we add these numbers? We get 3, right? But the problem is what happens when we multiply these? Because we have a time sign here. So it means that these numbers have to multiply. That's right. So in other words, will this work then? These numbers here? No. Very good, everybody. Because these give us 3s, but not. So can we make them both negative? Will that work? The answer is no, because we get the positive 10, but here we get negative 7. All right, so I want everyone to see this problem is very important. Here's my question. Are there any numbers that multiply to 10 and add to 3? Okay, I see Melody shaking her head there. All right, so if the answer is no, this will happen. I don't want anybody like beating up their computer to try to find answers when there are no answers. This is an example of a prime factor. Prime means that it is already broken down to the lowest form and it can go no further. You will have a problem on the test that is prime. So if you cannot find the numbers, it may be prime. But if you're getting a bunch of primes, that's not good. It probably means that there are numbers there that you just aren't finding. Okay, but this one is prime. I want to give you some trick ones real quick. Not trick ones, but some problems here. Because really, this is what this lesson is. This is all this lesson is. I just want to show you maybe just 2 more examples that kind of show you some differences with how this works. For instance, you may get something that looks like this: x 4 plus 5x squared plus 6. Like you may get something that looks like that. And for the last one, I'm going to give all right, I'll give these 2 as the last ones. That's you guys. All right, so I've gone in order. I'm saving Jennifer for later. Jennifer, looks like your kids really like math here. You can sit them in front of the computer and let them take notes. All right, Bendia. What should I all right, chart. What do you want me to put on the left side?
Plus,
On the right side?
multiply,
What number on the left side? You said 5?
yep,
What number here?
6,
Do you want me to use 6 times 1 as my answer? Or do you want me to use 3 and 2 as my answer?
3 and 2,
Okay. 3 plus 2.
5,
So now you're about to tell me how to write the answer, but I want you to be very careful because of this. I want to see if you can figure out what you're going to write. What do you think? Should I just put 2 X's here? But if I put 2 X's here, what's X times X?
2x,
Well, X times X is not 2X though. That's right, Madeline. X times X is X squared. So what do I need to put? So, right. So what should I put in here?
square into x square,
And what else?
plus 3,
Uh-huh.
plus 2,
That's it. You got it. Okay. So so everybody, if you get this x4, just always look at the first number. Because remember, when we FOIL this out, we have to get our answer. So that times that has to give us the first one, and the outer has to be on the outside. Yeah, this one. That would be 2x squared. And the inner has to be in the inside, right? This is what we discussed. 3 times 2 is 6. And we add these, we have to get that. So, because remember, this is the opposite of FOIL. Now, on the last problem here, I'm going to do this one myself because I need to get to this next lesson, which is the one that that most people have trouble on. So I'm going to do this first. The difference, you cannot do it with this problem. You can't solve the method with this problem simply because in the notes, there's an important thing that some of you may not have realized. Go back up to the top of your notes. And I'm gonna basically go give you a bird's eye view of this lesson. This little tree thing that you're doing right now with the plus and times and writing these, only look with problems that look like this. Let's see, math has to go very detailed. Where there is a number and an x, or no, the x squared, plus or minus, b just means some number, and an x, and c just means a number, but x's, are x's. So it has these, all the problems we've done have this format, right? X squared, b, there, c, there. See that? Here it is again. X, number, X, number, X, number, X, number. They all look like this. So that's how you know when to use this. And then all of a sudden, I throw this last problem at you, and look at it. It has a number in front of the X. That's not this. So that's an indication to you that it may not be this. All right, so if you see a number in front, see if it can be factored out. If not, move to lesson 11.3. In other words, if this 3 is in all of these, then we can remove it. Yes, Madeline. If the 3 cannot be removed, then there's a different way we factor it, which is called complex factoring, which is in the next lesson, which you're about to learn. But it looks like, does 3 go into all of these numbers? Yes, yes it does. And let's see who remembers how to do that. If 3 goes into all of the numbers, see how we do that? Y'all remember what this is why I said get lesson 11.1. 11.1, because everything is based on that. If we remove a 3, what do we have left in the first term? What's left? M2. Is that right? Because we know that when we multiply that out again, we have to get 3M2, right? And when we remove 3, it's a division operation, right? So what happens when we remove 3 from 24? Or 3 times what is 24? 8, but then there's an M there too. Y'all see that? So, and it's minus, isn't it? M. Now, anytime you do this, because the factor by grouping, those of you who did 11-1, I'm tempted to go see who did it. I think it'll make me upset because I already know 2 students who told me they didn't do it. So if I go and look and I only see 2, then I won't be happy, and then I won't be able to teach as well. So I'm not going to look right now. But like you learned in 11-1, with the factoring, I taught you that, as you're doing these, multiplying back out again, and make sure that you're getting that. So that times that, get the first. That times that, get the second. Then you see what, if we're removing a 3 from 60, Manuel, that was good. That was a good one, Manuel. I don't know, man. I don't. That's funny. All right. So what 3 times what is 60? Anybody? 3 times what is negative 60, actually. Yeah, there you go. Let me ask you guys a question. Is this problem done, do you think? I see a no. Okay. You're correct. Plus sign times sign. What number do you think will go underneath the plus? Let's do these fast on the chat. What number goes underneath the plus? Thank you. What number goes underneath the times? Thank you. I have a bunch of numbers here. It's negative. And I need to know which one is going to give me the negative 8. Let's see if I add that. Yeah, Angela, I think you meant to separate those, but yeah. So wait. Negative 10, right? And 2. Because I need a negative 8, not positive 8. So Kayla, make sure you get those signs, these integer signs going, because remember, take the sign of the higher number. So see how our problem looks? The 3 is in front there. Somebody write the whole answer for me out so I can know what to write. Ashley, almost. But I wanted it with something else. I wanted it with something in front as well. Yes, Melody. Right. No, not 3. But Madeline, I think you meant the. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So, wait. Melody put -10. Now somebody's going to ask me about the order. So I'm going to go ahead and put both orders here so that you guys know that you could use either of those. Because remember, I told you the order could be different. However, that 3 has to be in front, though. You can't put 3 on the end. You do have to have the 3 in the front. And then as far as the order, you can have the -10. You could have it in any order, but you can't have the signs messed up. So the signs have to be -10 and +2. So the signs do have to be correct, but the order doesn't have to be correct. All right, let's go to next lesson, 11.3. And this is going to be our difficult lesson. Every year I've taught this. I have people who quit on this lesson, but let me tell you something. You're not quitting. Okay, so you guys are going to get this because so far you've been doing great. All right. 11.3. Complex factoring. You will be wanting to take a break after this lesson, so. Okay. And let me write the columns down. Kayla, it's 3 lessons today. Or whatever I can do until 11. Because I can't stay till 12 like I did last time. So we'll definitely be stopping between 11 and 11:30. Okay. All right. So all right, so everybody, I want you to notice something. I'm going to do my best with trying to explain this. Go back to lesson 7. I mean, lesson example 7. So if you see a number in front, problems look like this. Look at this. There's an A in front. If there is no number in front, then we do this. You do it exactly like this lesson. If there is a number in front, then example 7 says, if there is a number in front, see if it can be factored out. This is so important. Because if it can be factored out, you don't need to use this complex method. The only time you need to use a complex method is if you cannot remove that 3. And this is the reason why we have this. Because look at this, is 3, can you divide each of these numbers by 3? And the answer is no. Because 3 goes into 3, 3 goes into 6, but does 3 go into 11? No. So it cannot be removed, and since it cannot be removed, but they're still asking you to factor it, this is the procedure you're going to have to do. It's going to require multiple steps. First thing I want you to do is label. I want you to label this A, B, and C. The way this is different from the others is that A is going to be the entire 3x squared, B is going to be 11x, and C is 6. Step 1, multiply A and C and place under the x. Why am I saying that? Because you still have a chart, you still have a plus, and you still have an x. Those are just quotes. Quotations. So in this case, the A is 3x2 The C is a 6. Can someone tell me what's going to go underneath the X? Nope. Yes. 3x squared times 6. You have to put the whole thing. It's very important. Let's get the left side. Put middle term under the plus. Can somebody tell me what's going to go under the plus sign? Careful, careful with that, Talon. Careful, look at it closely. There you go. You guys see how this is different? I want to tell you guys this. See, you weren't in the last one, you were only putting numbers. In this one, you will have to put the entire thing. So that's the reason I made a distinction here so that nobody gets confused. Okay, that's step one. Everybody understand step one? Oh, let me put what it is, because when you look back at this, I want everybody to kind of know what went where. Okay, so everybody get it so far, it looks like. All right, so step two. Fill out chart. Well, we already know how to fill out the chart. The chart says find two numbers that will multiply to this, but add to that. So the chart says, like for instance, I can't just do 6 times 3 because 6 times 3 is 18, not 18x squared. So I have to do 6x times 3x to get 18x squared. But then that would add to 9x. So it's not 6 and 3. Very good. You mean 9 and 2, right, Jennifer? So, and then when I add these numbers, what do I get? 11x. Good, so we found it. So we're at step 3. That's it for step 2. We already know how to do step 2. You're going to write this as 4 terms. The first number will be A. The second and third number will be B. They'll come from the chart. And the third number, the fourth number will be C. Okay, I'm going to see who can get this without me saying. The first number is A. The second number is B, coming from the chart. And the third one is your C. Can somebody write 4? It doesn't matter the order. No, it doesn't. Can somebody write all 4 numbers then that I'm going to be writing down? The first number is A. The second number comes from the chart. I need all 4 numbers. And the second and third number come from the chart. And the fourth number is Okay, let me show you. The first number is 3x. Yes, Angela, almost, that's close, except just put the, yeah, that's close, that's very close. Second number comes from the chart, 9x. Third number comes from the chart, 2x. Fourth number is C, comes from there, 6. That's right, Jennifer. Just be careful with the x squared at the beginning. All right, now, step 4 is what to do anytime you have 4 terms, because remember, we're asked to factor this. And the reason why I said I wasn't going to look at the homework, because I asked everybody to please have 11.1 done so that when you get to this step, you won't be confused. The fourth step is to factor by grouping. And for a reminder, for those of you who may not have done your work, no, don't simplify from here. You factor, you're factoring, which is different. So if you add these two numbers, you're going right back to the beginning again. Okay, so do not add these two. We are factoring, and that means you're factoring by grouping. And let's see who remembers the first step that we're supposed to do that I taught you. What is the first step I taught you to do when factoring by grouping? There you go. 2 sets of parentheses. That's exactly right. From 11.1. Who remembers what to do next from 11.1? I'm supposed to, it's in the, I don't have those 11.1 notes with me right now. No, not FOIL. Actually, this would be FOIL if they were without the plus sign there. But what you're supposed to do next is, here it is. Factor each term. What number can go out of both of the, what number? That's right, Ashley. What's the GCF of this and this? 3 what? Look at both of them. They 3 something. It's not just 3. There's something else I can remove other than just a 3. Right. Now, if I remove 3x, look closely and see what's left. Three x times, well, if I remove a 3x from 3x squared, I'm left with x. Because 3x times x is 3x squared. If I remove 3x from 9, I'm left with what? 3. What can I take, or what is the GCF of both of these numbers? Correct. If I take out a 2 and put it on the outside, what am I left with on the inside? Correct. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times what is 6? Who remembers what to do from here if I have an x plus 3 here and an x plus 3 there? This is from a lesson 11.1 grouping. That's right. Now I want to give you some time to go back to those notes in 11.1. Okay. Jennifer, can you tell me what example that is so we can, so I'm going to have to use that as a reference. What example did I do these, the 4 terms? Is it 6-7? Okay. All right, so we should know. Oh, I forgot to put the plus sign. So 3x plus 2, because remember I said it could be any order. So I'm just putting 3x and 2 first, and then I can put the x plus 3 last if I want, because it could be any order. So Madeline, you're still right. Okay. This is the reason why this lesson on the homework, and this only has 3 examples, because this, as you can see, this problem is a little bit more involved. You take the problem, you guys are about to do one on your own. So I'm gonna go over this again. I'm gonna go back down, but I'm gonna go, this example. I'm gonna go back down again, but I'm gonna go through the problem. Number 1, I'm given a problem like this, and I notice that I can't remove the 3. Since I can't remove the 3, I have to do what's called complex factoring. I have 4 steps in complex factoring. I multiplied the first and the last, and I put that number underneath the x. I put the middle number underneath the plus. Then I found 2 numbers that will multiply to 18x squared. And when I found those 2 numbers, I replaced the middle with those 2 numbers. So these numbers don't change. I simply replace the middle number with the numbers in the chart. So that's why I have 3x and 2. 3x and 6 are still there. 3x and 6 are still there. I simply replace the 11 with 9 plus 2. And I get the 9 plus 2 from the chart. Once I get these numbers, 4 numbers here, then I'm using the process that we learned in 11.1 of grouping these by adding parentheses, factoring out each number, and doing the final answer. So here's example 1. This is going to take some time. Usually when I do this, it takes people a while. So just give everybody time to work this out. Okay, so our first example will be 2x of factor two x squared plus 13x plus 6. You'll have to look at your notes because unlike the classroom, I can't have where I can show you this and another paper at the same time. So go very slowly, everyone. Do not rush this. This is the lesson that people have problems with unless they go really slowly. And you're just learning it, so take your time. And yes, Jennifer, I think I may be talking to you. I know this is a difficult problem. It's the first time doing it, but you just you talk great when we talk together. So I may call on you, but I may not. I may go to Kelly or someone else. But just know that I may go to Kelly or Ashley. But hey, Angela, the thing you sent me privately, it looks good. You're on the right track. You just need to fix a couple things about it, like the order and one of the numbers too. Bendia, are you giving me the number that goes underneath the time sign? Were you giving me that number just now? Yes, that is correct because you multiplied those, right? Okay. I'm going to talk to Angela instead though. So Jennifer, it looks like you are off the hook because Angela is confused, and it's like in class, if somebody's confused, I like talking to them. So Angela, let's go through the steps. What did you not understand about multiplying the first and the last?
I got that part, but
Okay,
then
hold on. Because we want to make sure, because I have a feeling you're probably just trying to do too much at once. So you did the 2x squared
I
times
multiplied
6.
those two and I got 12x squared.
Very good. And Jennifer, by the way, is doing a praise dance. So I'm sure
Welcome.
if she has a GIF, she can share that GIF with us. Looking good, Madeline, what you said with the answer you gave to me privately. Okay, so were you able to find the numbers that multiply to 12 and add to 13?
I haven't gotten that far because the only numbers that I know that gets you multiply to 12 is 6 times 2.
Oh, okay, but you have one in the chat. You probably just hadn't considered all the numbers, that's all. Check out the chat. You see it?
12 times 2?
No, what numbers do you see in the chat? From Bendia.
12 and 1.
Yeah. She forgot the X's, but those are the numbers, though. So it doesn't seem to me, I'm going to go ahead and mute her because she's not confused. She just couldn't find the numbers. She just couldn't find the numbers. So Jennifer, where is it? I need to unmute Jennifer. Jennifer, the praise dance was premature because
good times don't last always.
because she couldn't find the numbers. So I thought she was confused about the whole thing. Manual stuck on the fourth step, but let's just back up here. We've done the first step, we've done the second step. No, we've filled out the chart, so we're at the third step. We need to write 4 numbers. The first number is what? 2x squared, right?
Okay, so I use 12x and 1x.
Right, but right now we're on the. Yes, Deja.
Okay, I see where you're at. Okay, so 2x.
Yep.
For the middle numbers, right?
Yeah, and so now the middle numbers come
Okay,
from the
so,
chart. And what I would do,
did,
I'm getting some people texting me privately, and I'm really shocked because I think people are getting this. And I know this one is a hard one, but here's the thing. When you try to figure out what number should come first, I would try to, 12 goes good with the 2. So you could put 1 with 2, but I would put the 12 with the 2 because it's going to be easier to factor it later. So I would put the 12
I did
first.
that, yeah.
Oh, you put the 12? Okay.
Right.
And then
yes,
what did you do?
Yeah, 12x plus 1x.
Okay. And then plus what? Plus 6?
6.
Good.
Right.
Then what's the next step?
Added parentheses around 2x squared and 12x.
I'm going to bring it down here just so that everybody can see what the original one was. There and there. All right. And okay, now we got to factor each one. Okay.
Right, so then I got the 2x. And inside parentheses, I have x plus 6.
You took out what? What number? What was the GCF though?
Oh, I took out 2. As GCF.
2, right? 2x, right?
X, right. So then on the inside, I have x plus 6.
Right, because that times that is that, and then 2x times 6 is 12x. So good. Let's try to figure out this side here. This one is difficult because it seems like there's nothing common between these.
It's 1.
That's right. Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
1 is always going to be common between 2 numbers. Right, Deja, because Deja just put the
right. So then the parentheses, I have x plus 6.
Perfect. And
right.
so now you
Deja,
have the same thing on both, right? So
right. So then the last step, I have x
plus 6 parentheses
times 2x plus 1. That's my answer.
All right. As you can see, I gave you a reaction there. And Brendan, looks like they got it. Deja texted me with the answer privately. I had Madeline text me with the answer privately. So that's perfect. All right, that's example 1. I mean, again, this lesson only has 4 because it's so involved. So we're on example 2 now. Now for example 2 is going to be a little bit more difficult because I'm going to use this one. I've done this one. I did one like that. So now we're doing example 2. which is going to have a negative number. So each of these I'm doing on a separate page here. So example 2 is factor 8x squared minus 22. This one is a little bit challenging. This one's going to be difficult for sure, because negatives are usually kind of a little bit more challenging. Sure, Bendia. I can't show the whole thing, so what I'll do is I'll bend the paper and kind of try to do it that way. Bendia, let me know when you got it so I can. Oh, you do? Okay. Let me see. Yes, Angela, that's what you would put on the right side. Wait. Yes, that's what you're going to be putting on that right side. Yes, that's correct. You're welcome. And let me because this one's a little bit more complicated, I'm going to be trying to. This one is complicated when you get down to the 4 steps, especially. A lot of people struggle with that one. Angela, go ahead and tell me what to put on the left side as well. No, remember the left side, for the left side, underneath the plus sign, you see what it says here for the underneath the plus sign? So that's good. That's good. All right, so. And then Angela, you told me to put, I'm trying to scroll up to where you gave me the answer. There it is. Positive, Angela, that's positive 40x squared, right? Okay. So these are bigger numbers. So that's the first thing that makes this a little bit more difficult. Because I know that 8 times 5 is 40, but those add to 13. 10 times 4 is 40, but that adds to 14. Brendan, 20. X and 2. Those add to positive 22. So Jennifer, it looks like, oh, manual. Okay. Will that negative times a negative still get me my 40? Okay, and then, but when I add them, it has that. So it looks like, I guess we found it then. Okay, so now we're already at our 4 steps here. So I'm gonna get someone to figure out, because I don't know which of these numbers should be put first by the 8, you know, so I gotta figure that out. So we know to write the 8 first. So do you want me to put the 20 by the 8 or the 2 by the 8? I'll just pick whichever one I get most. Angela did privately. I'm half and half right now for someone who said privately and someone who put 20. I'll wait for more answers and see. Because it depends, I got another 20. Manual, your answer has 20. All right, so you guys want me to put this negative 20 by the 8, which is this one. I actually think 2 would work better because 8 and 2 have a relationship of 4, but anyway. This forces me to put a negative 2 by the 5. See, and because 2 and 5 have no relationship. So for me, you know, if I put, let's just look at it this way. If I have this 2 by the 8, it's going to be easier because I know that 4 works with both. And if I put the 20 by the 5, 4, you see there's a relationship of 4 here and a relationship of 4 here. Like 2 times 4, 5 times 4. See, and I can see it easier. That's, if you can see that pattern, it makes it a lot easier. But with this one, it'll still come up to the same answer, but it may be a little bit longer. But I still want to show you how to do it, though, if you do it this way. The other thing that makes this problem more difficult is that I didn't get to show you an example because we went so long with the last lesson that I didn't get to show what happens if you have a minus sign here, because some people get confused about where to put the parentheses. So I want you to watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to add an extra plus sign. And the reason I'm adding that plus sign is so that when I put parentheses, I have that negative there on the inside because it's negative 2. I don't want to put negative on the outside because then it would mess up my problem. So I'm adding a plus sign there so I can, all the numbers are still here. See, they're all still there, but it allows me to put the parentheses there. Now, doing it this way could be very difficult because of the signs. A lot of people have problems with the signs on this, so that's why I said this problem is a little bit more tricky. I know that there's an X in both of these, so I can take out an X, so that's the easy part. But sometimes it's kind of hard seeing what else I can take out. I can't take 8 out of 20. So what number can I take out of both of these? 4. 2, I can take out 2, but what's the greatest common factor, the GCF? It would be 4. I think that's the highest. And the greatest amount of X's I could take is 1. One thing that's going to help you guys to do this, remember 4 times what is 8, 4 times what is 20. The first number is positive, the second number is negative. Right? So 4 times what is 8, 4 times what is 20. So just do it that way. It'll always be easy. 2 and 5, right? But the first number is positive, the second number is negative, and then you have to have your x's together. So 4x times what is 8x squared? It's not just 2, because 4x times 2 would only be 8x, right? And then 4x times what is 20x? 5 minus, and we do the same thing here. See, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything common here, right? So if there's nothing common, what do we take out? What number can go in everything? Oh, 1, that's right, Melody. I saw that 1 finger there. But I want you guys to see something. if I just take out a regular 1, then this one, the first number is negative and the second one is positive, but I need the first number positive and the next one negative. So what kind of 1 can I take out that will change all of these signs? That's correct. If I take a negative 1 out, then each of these signs change. So basically, it's still the same thing, but the signs just change. Okay, so now, I have this in both. So anyone get my final answer? Angela, you look like you have been beat up thoroughly. I mean, come on, stay with me. We don't have that long left, okay? 2x minus 5, 4x minus 1. We only have, this problem actually wasn't as long as the others, but yes, Brandon, that's right too.
That step's what's confusing me.
Yeah, I understand. This one is more difficult. What do you, which step did you need me to go back over?
Okay, so when you've got how you drop the 4 and then you plug it into the last answer, that's where I think I'm confused. That makes sense, where you wrote the 2x minus 5 parenthesis, then the 4x minus 1, the very bottom.
This one here?
Yeah, both of those on the bottom. That's where I'm getting confused.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna pause Angela now. And my bet, and I'm not gonna ask Angela, but my bet is that she probably did not do 11-1, but I'm not gonna, see, she's saying yes, that's correct. So what happens is that because both of these have 2x minus 5, and this has 2x minus 5, they both have 2x minus 5. So then that 2x minus 5 is removed. And see what happens look at this right here. If we remove 2x minus 5, you're left with 4x. So that's there. And if you remove 2x minus 5 from this, what's left? -1. So that's there. So whatever you see in both, you put here.
Okay, so that makes it easier for me to understand. Is if you have the 2x minus 5, that goes first, and then whatever else you have left, you plug in the last set of parentheses. Correct?
Right. So it has to be in both in order for you to pull it out like that.
Okay.
So, but if you don't see the same thing, that means then the factoring is probably wrong, which could be the case with some people. Okay, let's go try another one.
This is kicking my ass.
All right. Hey, John, remind your brother when he comes down that he has to be quiet because I'm still teaching.
I told him just not to do it now.
Oh, you told him? All right.
I forgot the schedule.
The what?
I forgot your schedule. What was it?
Okay, yeah, until 11:30. Okay, let's see, left side. Right, so for the plus sign, Let's see here. Let's talk to someone for this one. Let's do some talking here. Where's wait, Maribel. Why you usually mess with her? I usually pick on Maribel. Where you've been hiding this whole time?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I usually pick on you, but I guess you weren't showing up this time. So, all right. So, what do you want me to put under the plus sign?
13x.
The middle one. Okay, good. And what do you want me to put under the time sign?
Negative 14x squared.
Good. And what numbers multiply to 14? Forget the x's for now, because what I like people to do is just kind of figure it out with the numbers first and then add the x's. So what numbers will multiply to negative 14 but add to 13?
2 and 7.
The only problem with 2 and 7,
Negative 7.
yeah, the only
Found the
problem with,
answer.
yeah, the problem
Yeah.
with 2 and 7 is they're gonna give us 5 and 5. You got Brandon though helping you out in the chat.
Oh, well, 1 times 14.
1 times 14. We just need to find out which of these and put x's by them, and which one of these is the right one. It looks like when we add, we're getting a 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
Positive 13. So which one of these would be right? For the
Negative 1x and 14x.
so this one here.
Yes.
Okay. Good. All right, so now I want you to think about this when we do this, when we write it as 4. Think about, because you know we're going to be writing the 2 first, right?
Yeah.
And we know that we have to replace the 13 with the 2 numbers from the chart. Which of these numbers goes better with 2? The 14 or the 1?
The 14.
So, and it's positive.
Yes.
And then what do I write?
Minus 1x.
And I would just kind of scoot it over, everybody. Scoot it over so that you can write your parentheses. And then?
Minus 7.
And I said to add a plus sign there. Okay, so we're on step 4 already, right? Because we rewrote it as 4 terms. What's the first step when you get here? Yeah, Matt, wait, hold on, Bendia. Yeah, Bendia, you can write it like that too if you want. But your answers, you should get the same answer we're about to get though, if you put the 1 by the 2. So do you remember the first step, Maribel?
GCF.
No, something else very important. Somebody tell me.
Parentheses.
There you go. I should probably write it again. Okay, so Maribel, when you get to this step here, how do you feel? Okay, are you kind of, this is the part where most people probably slow down.
Yeah. I would say 2 maybe, or 4.
So what number goes into both of these?
Well, 2.
2, you can't go higher than 2.
Yeah.
How many x's can you take out?
1.
So what should I put on the outside?
2x.
2x times what is at 2x squared?
X.
2x times what is 14?
2 times 14. 7.
Okay. If both of these are negative, then what number can I take out of both of these?
Positive 1.
Yeah, it's 1, but since they're both negative, let's take out a negative 1.
Oh, okay.
Because that way we remove the negative from both of them. So basically by taking a -1 out, I'm basically taking out a negative from each of these and putting it on the outside.
So X.
Brandon, that looks right.
X plus 7.
Well, Brandon, hold on. Brandon, the answer you gave me privately though, I'm taking issue with one of your signs. Okay, so you said X, right, because the signs of each of these change.
Mm-hmm.
So can you give me the final answer? Oh, no. Maribel, I'm gonna stop. Thank you, Maribel, good job. Good job, because some of you who are used to my style already know what I'm about to do here, because Angela had trouble with this step. So this is where I go back to her and see if she can give me the answer.
Okay, so would it be parenthesis? Do you leave the 2x on the outside?
No, it's nothing. You have to think of this totally differently.
Oh my God. Okay.
What do you see in both of these that's the same?
The x and the 7s.
The say the whole thing.
X plus 7 and
Then
x
that's
plus
what
7.
you put. Okay? If that's what you see in both, that's what you write.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's it.
Well, that's it for the first one.
Okay.
What's the next one? That's right, Madeline.
X plus 7?
No, you put the x plus 7s are gone. So what's left?
2x minus 1.
Thank you. You're overcomplicating this. Okay?
Ay. Okay, so x 7 goes first.
And then you see what's left. All right?
Okay.
All right, last one, everybody. I'm not gonna do the last lesson because I 2 is all we could manage. I think 2 is all we could manage, and I'll have to figure out a solution for that last assignment because, like most of you guys, I have kids and they are waking up and hungry. All right. No, Jennifer, that's not it. All right, let me see. One more. What example am I on? Example of, thank you, everybody, 4. Okay, last one. Okay. This is gonna be kind of crazy. All right. (24x4 plus 40x3 plus 6x2). That's correct, India. You can do that. 20x4 plus 4x3 plus 6x2. I'm waiting for Manuel to give a comment about this answer. Yes, Brendan, thank you. Now, before you guys start, this is our last one, so I have to I want to make sure we go out with a bang here. This is just going to be like that last one we did, where the last lesson we did, we had to take out the 3 and then we could do it. So just kind of look at this and see what you can do. I'm not going to give any help this time because I want to see how far you guys can get first. Angela, you got this. Come on, you can do it. Manual. No, because 4 times 6, 4 times 10, 4 times what? Can't be 4 because 4 times nothing will give me 6. Right. So it can't be 4. Two times 12, 2 times 20, 2 times 3. Looks like that may work, but you're gonna have to get your X's right as well. And Melody, I think you did put, I think Maribel already put that as well too, from looking at the chat. Maribel, I think you got it. Oh, Brendan, you looks like you actually got it first. Well, no, Jennifer. Sorry, Jennifer. So Jennifer, let's see here. 12x2, 20x, and 3. Let me see. That times that. That times that. And that times that. Okay. All right. Do your 4 steps. See. Kayla, let's be, come on, we're on our last one here. We're not, they're not tired, they're just restful. Well, this is why I like seeing the cameras, because that's how I knew to adjust the lesson, because I'm not concerned about Angela. Angela came on looking like that. She came on with the first example, so I wasn't gonna look at Angela. But you know. All right, let's see. Let's do this step at a time. In the chat, tell me what's gonna go on the underneath the plus sign. I got 3 answers that are all correct. Can you tell me what's gonna go underneath the time sign? Good, good. 12 times 3. How many X's, Brendan? Okay. So now we got to figure this out. Oh, where's Kayla? Where's Kayla? Okay, I usually indicate. Where's Kayla at? Okay. Kayla,
Yes.
Ah, well, never mind. They don't like this problem. Hold on. I'll mute her back again. They really don't like that problem at all. I feel their frustration. I really do, Kayla. All right. But here's the thing. Let's see if we can get what multiplies to 36 and adds to 20. 6 times 6 is not going to work because that's 12. 4 times 9 won't work because that's 13. Two numbers. See, sometimes you're going to be doing you'll be doing your homework and you just won't be able to find the numbers. See, we've gone this far, we don't have the numbers. LaQuasia, I haven't, look, LaQuasia, I haven't even heard. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up here. LaQuasia. Where's my, what's the, I even got some things here and some, where's my other, where are my emojis at here? Oh shoot, that's the wrong one. There we go. All right. So, oh, I forgot what she said. I'm gonna scoop back up. That's right. 2x and 18x. All right, so now comes the difficult part. The part where, what do we do next? Yes, 4, we have to take this from 3 to 4. And I got to figure out what number to put by the 12. Should I put it 2 by 12 or 18 by 12? Let me see what I get. 2, I get from Angela, 2 from Madeline. Two from Brendan. So it looks like most of you, Maribel, why did you have to do that to me? Everybody's saying 2. Well, Maribel, I'm gonna be putting, I guess I'm gonna put 2 because everybody has 2. But I do see where you're going with that 18 though. So 2 will go first, then we'll put 18, then we'll put 3. You guys should notice that the 2 numbers will always add up to the middle. So first, 2 numbers always add up to the middle. Last number. Now, y'all watch this. We don't like putting 2 sets of parentheses here. And since we're supposed to be adding parentheses, it may look like this now. Okay. Oops. I see it. Okay. And I was supposed, I feel like I missed something. Yeah. That and that. I'm trying to see, did I miss anything else? Okay. 2x on the outside. I got to do both of these separate. So you're going to have to find out what's the GCF of that. You need to find out what's the GCF of that. You need to pull both of those out, put them on the outside. 18, Brendan. So, okay. Kelly, you with me still?
Yes.
Yes, because I wanted to call you earlier, but I. All right, so Kelly, do you know what number's going to go on the outside for these, or what the GCF is? What number goes in both 12 and 2?
2x?
2x, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that parentheses there, but put it on the outside like that. See how I did it?
Yeah.
2x, so 2x times what is 12?
6x.
Madeline, that looks right. And 2x times what is 2x?
1.
1, close the parentheses. And now we're going to the 18 and the 3. So what number goes into both 18 and 3? Or
3.
the GCF of, yes, it's 3. So 3. And 3 times what is 18?
6.
On
That's 6.
x. And 3 times what is 3?
1.
1. Close the parentheses. All right, now I'm gonna, good job, Kelly. I'm gonna mute Kelly now. Throw my reaction on the screen. And where's Angela?
Oh,
Well, where's Manuel?
Angela.
Where's Brendan? They are passing it to each other. Do you mind helping me out here with this last answer? Brendan, no, never mind. We can't finish this because you guys won't. Okay, Ashley, you there?
Yes.
Can you see how to end this?
Yes.
All right, so what's gonna happen here? Because there's 6x plus 1 in both.
You take that out. So 6x plus 1.
And then what we told Angela is once we remove those, what's left?
The 2x plus 3.
But Bendia is missing something in her chat. Do you see the answer she put? She's missing something. What is she missing?
The 2x squared.
On the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right, so Ashley, thank you. Let's mute. And look at the time, everybody. This is perfection at its finest. Do you understand? We stopped right at 11 and finished this. And by the way, to show this work, you'd have to FOIL this back out and multiply by that. Yeah, Jennifer, because I'm going to stop because I don't think mentally we could take another lesson after this one. Like I'm sensing it. So that means that for homework, you will need to do (11.2) and (11.3) and
11.1 if you haven't done it.
11.1 if you haven't done it. And I'm about to make these do because some of you guys are waiting and you're not supposed to be waiting. You were doing your, I'm going to mute her because I'm not going to say who it is, but some of you guys, since I put the schedule back, you're just taking your time with it. And the reason why that's hurting you is because when you need these lessons in order to do the other lessons, and so you're not understanding. That was the reason why I had set the deadline so strict. Okay, no, Jennifer, you don't have to tell on yourself. After this lesson, because you are probably, there's a lot of other people here with you that are probably like, oh no, it's me as well. So it's more than one. I'm gonna check my math lab after this is over, and then I'll react from there, okay? So thank you everybody for showing up. I do think as far as the class from today, these are difficult lessons, so I am gonna try to slow down if I can, but these are a lot of lessons to do by Thursday, so please just I need you guys to have these done because you can see how complex they are. And if we're going to be moving on from this, you'll be so lost if you don't have these done, okay? So we only did 2 lessons today instead of 4. At first it was 4, then I changed it to 3, and then I changed it to 2. We are going to be a little behind as well. So I need everybody to make sure you show up on Thursday so we can go on. All right. I would say if you have any questions, text me, but I'm not saying that anymore because you guys you love using the Remind app, and I'm so grateful, but I just, it's just too much. Like so, you know, if you have a question, go to my math lab, you know, work it out, okay? And I will be back. You can save your questions, but I just can't do it, okay? So just, you know, we'll just go on from here. Thank everybody. We have 15 people say, oh, attendance. Hold on. I'll take attendance real quick. Today is the 7th. Maribel is here. Talon was here. Ashley's here. Deja was here. Ryan was here, but he left. I'm going to count him present because I didn't see what time he left. Aaliyah's not here. Brendan's here. Mari is not here. Kelly's here. Manuel's here. LaQuisha's here. Madeline's here. DeAndre's not here. Dia is here. Melody's here. Angela's here. And Jennifer is here. And Kayla is here. Okay, so it's actually really good attendance. Okay. Oh, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan, for telling me that. Let me adjust that here in my thing. So you're still here. Thank you. The next test, yeah, according to the schedule, for our next test, I have the I was supposed to do today. I was supposed to do 11:3, 11. Oh, I'm way behind. Yeah, because our next test is supposed to be on the 14th, but because this is a block class, I'm supposed to be doing tests and also teaching the same day. It wasn't supposed to happen. I was trying to avoid doing the same day teaching and tests, so that's why. But it looks like I may not have a choice now, unfortunately. I may have to do the first hour teaching and then let y'all test or something. That's what it's looking like for the 14th, week from today. This is your hardest test, so just prepare, everybody. You're doing good so far. All right, thanks again. That's it, and we will see everyone later. Take care.